Hello everyone and welcome back to more Careering Onwards with me, Mr. Grand2, here with Barcelona, and today's focus, of course, England, the Three Lions, as we go to the 2034 World Cup, which is being held in South Korea, which seems a bit of a recycle. They only had the World Cup in 2002, that wasn't that long ago. But anyway, we are here, we are ready and raring to go. Can we lift the World Cup with England for the first time since 1966? It has been a renaissance, a golden age for the English national side in the save in recent years. Can we make things even better today? Now, of course, it's been a brilliant time for England. In fact, we need to go back to 2028 because they have had an excellent time of things recently, winning the European Championships in 2028 under the stewardship of Sir Graham Potter, beating France 1-0 in the final. That was it. That was the point where things really started to go very, very good, at least until we came along. They then, under Graham Potter, did they get out of the Nations League? I don't think they did. It's not even, was there not a Nations League after this? Oh yeah, there it was. Yeah, they failed to get out of the Nations League group then. But then in the 2030 World Cup, they made their way to the final, losing on penalties to the Germans after a 2-2 draw. The heartbreak for Jadon Sancho, scoring a 96th minute equalising penalty to force extra time and then missing his penalty in the resultant shootout. Very, very disappointing. We then took over. Graham Potter resigned after that because he was just too sad to carry on. I understand, I would feel the same way. But we took over, and then we've had a pretty good time of it ourselves. We came fourth in the Nations League after that, which isn't too bad. We then made the final of Euro 2032, losing in pretty heartbreaking fashion, 1-0 to Italy. We were brilliant all the way through. We conceded one goal in the entire tournament until the final. We were absolutely fantastic, but heartbreak in the final, of an undeserved win for the Italians. But que sera, and then our only other tournament since then, of course, the Nations League 2 years ago, and that went absolutely brilliantly. We annihilated France 6-0 in the semi-final, and then we beat Germany in the final for a bit of revenge in that classic 4-2 scoreline that is the stuff of headline writers' dreams. And now here we are, and a year on, it's time for the World Cup in South Korea. Our qualification record, as you can see there, has been pretty much perfect. We did draw 1-1 with Switzerland in the first game, but then, well, lots of wins, no goals conceded in the entire rest of qualifying, loads and loads of goals scored. We're pretty good. And our group for this is Morocco and New Zealand, which, with respect, we should be winning, considering the fact that you basically need to win one game and you go through. It's such a stupid tournament format now, but yeah, we should be winning this one pretty easily. Can we win the tournament though? That is the big question. Now the squad for this one is pretty familiar. If you've been watching the England episodes, we have got, well, and even without, there's lots of familiar faces from the save so far. A lot of experience. There's a lot of guys in their 30s here, including Trent Alexander-Arnold, who obviously we kind of had to use, given we used him all season at Barcelona. But that experience will hopefully help out. Not really anyone young. And as we've mentioned before, there isn't actually that much in the way of youngsters coming through. That probably the best youngster who could have made the squad and will probably make the squad next time, we've got to highlight him because of his absolutely wonderful name. He is a midfielder, 21 years old, at Liverpool, our former club, of course, and his name is Lee Poole. He was born to play for them, really, wasn't he? If we don't get sacked by England, I'm sure we'll see him in an England shirt in the future, but these are the boys who are here and now, and hopefully they can get the job done. Some familiar names, of course: Marcus Jewhurst, legend of the save, probably the best money I've spent in the entire save, just 9.5 million to get him for Liverpool. What a goalkeeper he has been. Trent, of course, I'm more than familiar with, and the starting lineup, very, very familiar. Adam Grayson is absolutely outstanding. What a solid centre-back he is. I have made a bit of a change in the other centre-back position. I've mostly been playing Grayson alongside Scott Howell, who's at Arsenal. And I then looked at him and just realised he's actually not that good in terms of his technicals. They're really quite bad. And then we've got Phil Jeffrey here, who's barely played for me. He's only got one cap, which is a bit of a concern. But aside from the passing, which is the same as Howell, everything else about him is considerably better. So he's going to play. He's at Spurs, so he's well, make of that what you will. We've got Daniel Sully, of course, at left back, who can play left centre back exceptionally well as well, which he may well do. I just think he's most suited. I think he's wasted there. I think he's best suited to playing at left back because he's just absolutely brilliant. Midfield, obviously, some very familiar names. Alistair Skewes is an absolute superstar for Tottenham, the key man in that midfield. I'm not really sure about who else to play. We've got Kenner, we've got Tom West still. I'm very set in my squad ways. Phil Foden's still here. Jude Bellingham's still here. He's only 30. And in the forward areas, we've got some absolutely devastating attacking players. There's so many good wingers and strikers who have not even made the squad. And yeah, that's obviously a good problem to have. We've got Adam Flint from Real Madrid. I am slightly concerned about him because he played really badly in the 2 warm-up matches for this. Obviously, we've seen him all season playing for Madrid. They, of course, are morons and signed him and Marko Vujovic, and yet remember they could only play one right winger, so they played him at right back all season, which has I think it's kind of affected him a bit. Hopefully not too much. Panamarenko, obviously excellent. He's nearing 30, but he's still very, very good. Vincent Day, we've got him as well. As of course Tony Sutherland, of course we brought him with us. He's not had a very good season for Bayern Munich, particularly by his standards of when we were in charge there, but it's not bad, is it? He's still got 9 goals and 2 assists. Just keeps getting injured. Loves to get injured, as we know. Reece James is still here. He's 34, but he can still run a bit, so he'll be all right. And of course, the wonderful sight of 2 players in your squad who you saw come through youth intake. Mick Hogan, of course, from one of our youth intakes when we were in charge of Liverpool. We knew he was going to be good. He's still a bit slow, but he's very, very good. And of course, Ben McGonigal, who didn't. I don't think he came through a youth intake while we were at Leicester. I think he was. Yeah, no, he was in the youth team. I think it was slightly before we got there, but he has done very, very well, and indeed. And of course, the star man, the man who we hope is going to be firing in the goals, England's record goal scorer, 98 goals in 92 caps, Antonio Jesus Vasquez, who no longer plays for Real Madrid. He has moved to Chelsea, which is going to help us out a lot. Right then, there we go. I'm going to play the games against Morocco and New Zealand. I'm just going to bring you the goals because I would hope we'd win them. If we don't, then that's going to be funny. But I hope we will win them both pretty straightforwardly. And then we will play the knockout game, the first knockout game in full. Hopefully the one after that one too. And then we'll see. And we might have another episode for the rest of the tournament if we even get that far. But we didn't 4 years ago with Brazil, of course. So we'll see what happens in this one. And this is the team that's going to kick things off against Morocco. We're going to go full strength for this one. We'll probably rest everyone for the New Zealand game because I reckon we'll probably still have enough about us. But what I feel is the strongest lineup we have to start things off: Jewhurst in goal, Sully, Jeffrey, Grayson, Alexander-Arnold, Kenner, Skewes, Foden, Panamarenko, Flint, and of course Vasquez up top. I'm hopeful for quite a lot of goals. We'll see if that's the case. There's certainly enough quality about us, I think, to get us through the group pretty easily. And Morocco, they're sitting incredibly deep. They've got Rayan Sefa here, who is at Besiktas. He's pushed really into the attacking midfield spot, so they're setting up for one thing and one thing only from the looks of things. Now, Morocco did actually beat New Zealand in the first game in the group, so they're looking quite good to qualify, really. If we beat them and New Zealand, then they will be going through, and we're looking pretty good so far. Right, 16 minutes in, we've got a penalty. Alistair Skewes steps up, and Alistair Skewes opens our account for this World Cup. Very confident, very calm from the Spurs man. I mean, if we go to penalty shootouts, then as long as he's on the pitch, we should be all right. And I was worried about him having played right back all season. I'm not worrying as much now. Great work from Sully and Panamarenko on the left-hand side, the 2 Chelsea boys, and the ball comes in from Panamarenko, and Adam Flint is there to head home to make it 2-0. And whoever the Chelsea manager is these days, I don't even know. I think it's still Jurgen Klopp. They'll be pleased to see more Chelsea players combining Panamarenko crosses for his new Chelsea teammate Vasquez to make it 3-0. Well, we mean to make sure we're not being complacent at all throughout this tournament, like that, which has gone in from Morocco there. But it doesn't matter. 3 points, an easy way to start the tournament. Good, solid performance. And on to the next one. Fully rotated side is going to play in the game against New Zealand. Then I think we probably will be able to do the job. Anyway, there's some pretty much world-class players in this team. And then we'll have a look at the group situation elsewhere. Some big scorelines. Colin Nicholson scoring a hat-trick for Scotland against Honduras. So that's good, obviously. Can they have a successful tournament? They've done pretty well recently. But the team for this one then, the second 11, is going to be Kvetsverskiri in goal. I think that's how you say it. He's a new guy in the team. Very, very good goalkeeper as well. He's at Wolves now. Looks really good. But then the defence is going to be Hogan at left back, Al Hassan and Hal the centre backs. Hal not used to playing second fiddle, but I think it's probably time he shunts down into the sort of second 11. Reece James at right back, West, Newson and Bellingham in the midfield with Vincent Day on the right, Tony Sutherland, Bayern Munich hero, on the left hand side, and Adam Cockbill up front. One real player for New Zealand. They've got Sarpreet Singh, who is on the books of Bayern Munich in real life. Yep, starts the game there. Played for the second team. He spent most of his career at Apwal in Cyprus. Done pretty well for himself. 1 year at Auckland City. He's 2034 now. He hasn't played all season. Not played for a single year, and yet he still gets into the starting lineup of the national side of the World Cup, which I guess shows the depth of player in the database for the Kiwis. So I'm expecting a pretty one-sided game here. And I think that's what we're going to get. I mean, goal kick from New Zealand. Reece James just literally just given the ball, swings it in. Sutherland knocks it down. And a freshly bald Adam Cockbill gives us the lead. I don't know if it is that or if it's Cobill. It's who knows. And now it's 2-0. They've scored an own goal. I think Bellingham can feel a little bit aggrieved that he didn't get it. Although I've no idea who that came off. Apparently it's an own goal. And it's 3-0 before half-time once again. Al Hassan heading home from a Vincent Day free kick. And I think we've won the group. They've not had a shot yet, we've had 12 on target, which kind of makes me feel we're not being perhaps that clinical. But then this is the second 11 as well, so I can't really complain too much. Most of our goals have been pretty boring and not particularly interesting so far, but this one definitely is. Absolute banger from Tony, past the goalkeeper, 4-0. But again, some complacency, some sloppiness. We only conceded 2 goals in the Euros 2 years ago in the whole tournament. Already conceded 2 in this tournament in the group stage. And it ends 6-1. We scored 2 more late on, a header from Scott Howell and a penalty from Adam Cockbill. And yeah, well, very good indeed. We have won the group as you would expect. And our opponents in the second round will be Chile, so it could be a fiery affair. So let's have a look at the old group situation. And Wales have won their group. They've made it through as well as the hosts. But Senegal out, DR Congo out, USA out, relatively big, Cameroon, Jamaica, who've done well so far in the saving tournaments. Romania, that's the big shock. They are a team who, of course, has had a huge amount of success in recent years. They got to the previously they got to the World Cup semi-final 4 years ago. They are out in the group stage. Big shock there. Uzbekistan, Burkina Faso, Canada, Nigeria, Syria, Saudi Arabia, New Zealand from our group, and Iran as well. But yeah, big shock, the Romanians going out. But these are the second round games. Far too many games there for my liking. Wales, Croatia, South Korea versus Brazil. The hosts probably going to go out against our former employers. Colombia, Holland, France, Paraguay, Denmark, our former team as well, against Ireland, Ivory Coast, Japan, Ecuador, Algeria, Germany versus China, Portugal versus Switzerland, Ghana, Mexico, Honduras are playing Argentina, Poland versus Scotland, quite a good draw for Colin and the boys there, Uruguay versus Italy, South Africa versus Belgium, of course us versus Chile, and then Morocco versus Spain. Quick check on the top scorers and some very familiar names in here. Denis Zivkovic already has 5 for Germany, Miguel Salvador already has 4 for Portugal, and Colin already has 3 for Scotland, Marko Sinjek with 3 for Croatia as well. Well, Marko Sinček won't be getting any more. Wales, the surprise team in the tournament so far, have knocked out Croatia, our other former team, France, making light work of Paraguay. As expected, the hosts go out to Brazil, and Holland make it through past Colombia. And then Denmark going through as well, making it a complete set of our former international teams through to the third round, except for Venezuela, who don't seem to have qualified. Ivory Coast beating Japan, Algeria beating Ecuador, and the holders beating China. Argentina then knocking out Honduras. Portugal dumped out on penalties by Switzerland. Mexico make it through. They win a knockout round game against Ghana 5-3. Epic match there. And Colin, no World Cup for Colin once again. He's dumped out Scotland, knocked out 1-0 by Poland. Spain, Italy and Belgium also making it through, and we are last up, which I guess is good in the sense that we've got a chance to rest, but it's also might mean we have the least time before the next round if we make it through, which hopefully we will do against Chile. We're going to go back to the full strength team, and we're going to play the whole game. Or show the whole game, that's what I mean. I mean, obviously I play the whole game. You can't just skip to goals, that's not a thing. Right then, fully regen team for Chile. They've got Donoso up front. If he scores a hat-trick, I'm going to be annoyed. It's been brilliant so far. Loads of goals. Confidence is flowing. Everyone's nice and fit because they've not had to play both games. Just go out there and get it done in normal time. Here we go. First highlight of the game. We've got a corner. Swinging it in. Skews knocks it down. He's hit the crossbar. Warning signs for us are good though. They've already got 2 yellow cards. So, it's proving to be fiery so far. Sully goes inside to Foden. Skews. He's going to line up a shot from outside the box. He loves to do that. Looks like he's trying to. He finds himself some room and he cracks it against the corner of the bar and post. Throwing on the right hand side from Trent Alexander-Arnold. We've given away possession from there. And Chile can counter. Donoso is apparently onside. It's a brilliant challenge from Grayson to stop him. He wasn't flagged. He was onside. What a tackle from Adam Grayson to stop that one. Could have been a against the run of play kind of goal for them. We need to find a breakthrough here. Foden with the corner in. This could be it. Panamarenko to Jeffrey, trying to find some sort of room. They're very tightly packed. Flint has, I don't know what he's done there. Lost a bit of his attacking instinct since wasting a season of his life at right back for Real Madrid. And Chile are in here again. Riveros, good block from Sully, I think it was, but they're back at it again. And we're not looking particularly confident and free-flowing at the moment. Coming up to half-time, no breakthrough yet. I was expecting this one to be a pretty easy one. I still think we'll have enough about us to get it done. Skews across to Panamarenko, and there we go. That moment of quality comes through. Alistair Skews, who you could make an argument is possibly the best player in the team. There's a lot of candidates for that. But driving forwards, brilliant run from him. Wins a lot of space, flicks it in. It's a dinked header from Panamarenko. Not his most usual kind of goal, but a very welcome one indeed. And we've got the lead before the break. Or at least I hope we do. Chile aren't done yet by any means. They're not a beaten side. Very, very combative and look dangerous on the break. But Skews again, getting himself loads of room, and he's done it again. Another assist for Alistair Skews. Antonio Jesus Vasquez flicking it in for his first of the tournament. He's not actually scored in the group stage, but obviously he only played in one of the games. But he scores there, and 2-0, looking good. Bit of a slow start from us, but we are now well in control. Typical England, really, in a knockout game against a team they should be beating. At least this one looks like we are going to get the job done. Of course, I say that, but Chile, they're not done yet. Donoso might not be particularly good at finishing, but he's got good movement on him. But Adam Flint, on the right-hand side, goes all the way round. The cross is not particularly good in the end, but Skews, who's been man of the match so far by a country mile, lays it off to Trent, flings it into Vasquez. Could have been 3. We've got to make sure we keep an eye on everyone's fitness, obviously, because you can't rest players in between matches. I say that every international tournament we play as Flint goes close, but I'll keep saying it until SI fix it. Please fix it for next year. It's one of the worst features in the entire game. Just let us rest players between international games. Right, coming up to 70 minutes. Some bookings for us. Trent's been booked. Noah Kenner has been booked as well, which is not ideal. Phil Jeffrey's already been booked in the group stage, so keep an eye on him. Don't want any sort of suspension for a critical game. If we can get a third, then that would be really nice, and we can think about taking some players off. Adam Flint, again, he looks a bit out of sorts to me. I know he's got a goal, but I really am very annoyed at Real Madrid for wasting him. I mean, they didn't need to sign him and Vujovic. Alistair Skews gets the goal that his performance absolutely deserves. He is undoubtedly man of the match today, and yeah, brilliant stuff. We are safely through to the third round. Right, with that in mind, we'll make some changes. Adam Flint, he's still got an assist, to be fair to him. He got an assist for that goal just now, didn't he? But we'll take him off. Vasquez as well, not looking particularly fit, so he can come off too. Trent actually has pretty good fitness. There was a time when we were at Liverpool, he was sort of one of our sort of regularly least fit players, but he seems to be holding up for now. But he's one to watch just because of how old he is at this stage. But anyway, a little bit of a shaky start, but we are going to get the job done. The potential fourth here, Vincent Day across to Skews, and he gets himself another one. It is for Alistair Skews. He's absolutely running this game and running this World Cup as far as we are concerned. He is sensational. What a player in that midfield box-to-box role. Pull back from Vincent Day, and he slams it home. It's better than his first one. 4-0. Job absolutely done. Very, very nice indeed. A little bit of a shaky start, but we find the breakthrough in the end and are through to the third round. And our opponents in the third round will be Belgium, who are the 13th ranked side in the world at this point, but they seem to, if memory serves, have been pretty rubbish throughout the save so far. Obviously they'll probably beat us, but we'll give it a go. Wales' reward for getting through to the third round is to play multiple winners. France, Brazil will play Holland. Denmark face the holders, Ivory Coast, Algeria, which, I mean, compared to the rest of the matches, come on, guys. Same for Switzerland, Poland, Mexico, Argentina, Italy, Spain, and Belgium, England. And we've only got a few days, 3 days until we play Belgium, which is a bit unfortunate. That was actually our 50th game in charge of England as well, so nice way to mark that milestone. Right, first of the third round games, Wales fall to France, Sissoko getting a hat-trick there, and Brazil knocking out Holland. And Algeria have made it through to the quarterfinals, and Denmark knocked out by the hosts. No real shocks and big teams going out, really. Mexico still can't make a World Cup quarterfinal, though, knocked out by Argentina. And Switzerland see off Poland in extra time. Right, this is it. Can we make it to a second episode of World Cup action? Belgium versus England. And look how tired everyone is for absolutely no reason whatsoever. No one. I don't think anyone's going to be above 90 apart from Grayson, Trent and Jewhurst, which, considering we took off Vasquez really early on, makes no sense at all. Really very stupid, but we're going to have to go with a full strength team because I don't trust Belgium to just roll over. They're a pretty decent team. Okay, still one real player, Van Huysden at the back for them, and then we've got Hank de Haan up front, he's decent, he's at Juventus these days. Ferre alongside him, who's at Spurs and looks very, very good at the age of 19. I'm getting more and more concerned. Pinto is at Chelsea. Marie is at PSG. So, I mean, this guy's he's at Man City. They've got Canner as well, who's a real player and is usually pretty good. So, they're sitting quite deep in midfield. They look like they're going to hit us on the break. Oh yeah, this guy, Bialek, is really good at left back. So I'm just going to look at their whole team. He's at Monchengladbach. What is this? Saka is at Sevilla. Okay, he's all right. Not great. Goalkeeper. I know the goalkeeper. Van der Poel used to be at Newcastle, didn't he? Caused us some issues in the past. Now he's at PSG. Yeah, Newcastle, very, very good. Okay, they're really good. They are extremely good. This is going to be quite difficult. We're not going to say we should be winning it comfortably. I expect you to win. They're not massively fired up particularly, but This is, and they're picking out this guy as their best player. He's the teenager. Everyone else is already good anyway. Yeah, this could be the end of our World Cup experience. But we should be all right. Pressing early on, but I think this is what they're going to try and do. They're going to hit us on the break because we do like coming forwards, and they've got some very, very, very good players. They've got two up top as well, which could pose us an issue, considering our centre backs are not outstanding apart from Grayson really. Skew's trying to take the game on it by the scruff of the neck. Doesn't do it this time. Yeah, I'm not massively confident about this, but we'll see how it goes. Pinto running in. It's come all the way to Marie, and he's hit the crossbar. Early warning signs from Belgium. I think there's a temptation to maybe go a bit more positive, but at the same time, because of how many threats they have throughout the pitch, then we just have to kind of hope that they are like real life Belgium still kind of are, and they're sort of not really great as a team, as we just about clear that corner away. And Vasquez is in loads of space. He's a bit too far out from goal though, but if anyone could find a ball from this position, it's him. He's laid it off to Panamarenko sort of accidentally. Panamarenko still has it. We still have a chance here. Kenner goes for the shot, and really if it was anyone else, well, I thought the chance was over. I was about to say, if it was anyone other than Kenner, we would probably have scored from there, but the deflection was good from it. Let's have a look. He lines the shot up. It's a good save, but Flint reacts brilliantly, and he puts it across, and the defence, which is really the only weakness for the team, were asleep, and Vasquez is never going to miss from there, and we've got the lead. Really, really, well, good that we have managed to get that goal. Let's keep it up. Keep concentrating. Keep being sensible. And they brought on Gora as well, who is a player I've nearly signed before. He's good. They have an extremely good squad, but we've got a very settled team, and that team is now 2-0 up. And Antonio Jesus Vasquez is the best striker in the world, pretty much, bar none. Phil Foden swings it in. He's got a few knocks as Phil, but Vasquez again with a flying leap, kick into the goal from the free kick. 2-0. We are looking very good, and I'm going to take Phil Foden off now, because it's not like Jude Bellingham is exactly much of a downgrade. Trent with the free kick, swung in, and Van der Poort claims it, and there's a break on here. Ferry cut out brilliantly by Trent though. Brilliant from Trent. He's just, his experience helping there. Vasquez is on a hat-trick. He cracks the bar and doesn't find the rebound. Right, again, I think with the cushion we've now got, Adam Flint is on 57% fitness, so he's going to have to come off. And I think either Skews or Vasquez, because they're our best players and are our least fit players at the moment. But if we can get a third here, then that will really help. If it's a hat-trick with Vasquez, then we'll take him off. Otherwise, I'll probably take Skews off. I don't know if this is a fake highlight. Skews off to Vasquez. Flint, who's about to come off. Please don't get injured in this highlight. Ball across to Vasquez. To Skews, sorry. Flint, there's Vasquez. There's his hat-trick. Flint gets... It's not come up as an assist, but I think it was before he departs. And now Vasquez can leave the field as a hat-trick hero. Right, I'm going to drop the tempo all the way down. I don't know who to take off, whether it's Skews or Vasquez. Skews with a free kick. It's 4-0. What was I worrying about? What was I worrying about? A team of brilliant individuals who are not able to function as a cohesive unit, whereas we have been playing pretty much the same lineup for, well, since I've been in charge. I don't know who to tell. We drop the tempo down. Panamarenko's got a knock now. He's going to have to come off. I think it's not a particularly serious one, but we'll bring on Tony. I wanted to take off Skews and Vasquez, but I think we're going to have to do that. Could be 5. It's not quite 5. Well, there we go. That was way better than I thought it was going to be. 4-0. Brilliant stuff. Job done. Steve Holland, tell them they've done a good job. And I will see you in the quarter-final. And Panamarenko, even though we took him off straight away, he's pulled his groin. He's out for 2 to 7 days, so he will probably miss the quarter-final, which is not great. Phil Foden, he's got a bruised thigh. He's going to be out for 6 days. I mean, what is this? Phil Foden plays for Arsenal now, by the way. I mean, they should be okay, but they're probably going to miss the next game, although the next game is going to be against Switzerland, which you'd have to say is pretty kind, but at the same time, they have ground their way in the particularly Swiss way to this point with some, I'm assuming, terribly boring defensive performances. But France will play Algeria, Brazil will play Germany, huge game there, repeat of what knocked us out 4 years ago, and then Argentina will play either Italy or Spain. We'll find out in a second. But yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, and I think we should hopefully be all right despite those injuries. And it's Spain going through. Italy, who beat us in the Euro final, are out, and that is going to be that for today. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next part, which will be that quarter-final against Switzerland, and hopefully a semi-final and final after that, or at least a third place playoff, but no one really cares about that. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.